Welcome to At the Well Season 2. My name is Joy Kimiya and I'm so excited to welcome you to this first episode of At the Well. At the Well comes to you every Friday. Just go onto my channel, you will find our different episodes there. And as I said in my introductory video, some of you missed season 1, so we are going to recap on some of the topics that we had gone through, and then we move on to other topics. I'm excited to be here with you, and thank you for watching. Allow me to read from the Word of God. I'm going to read from 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 9 and 10. Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. His mother had named him Jabez, saying, I gave birth to him in pain. Jabez cried out to the God of Israel, Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm, so that I will be free from pain. And God granted his request. The question I have for you today and that we are going to deliberate on is, what is your name? What is your name? Think about your name for a little while. Are you happy about your name? Are you regretting that you have that name? If you had an opportunity, would you change that name? And a very intricate question. Suppose you were given a different name by whoever named you. Would it have changed the course of your life? Would it have interfered or boosted your destiny? In many cultures, names carry identity and they have a lot of weight and a lot of meaning. The name will either propel you to greatness or stifle your destiny and cause you to stagnate. That's why Jabez discovered the weight and the meaning of his name, and he decided to cry out to God to turn the tide of his life around. Some of the questions we may ask ourselves. Does your name have a meaning? One day I decided to ask my mother the meaning of my name, my middle name. She only told me I was called after a good auntie of hers whom she loved, and that's as far as my name goes, and it does not have any meaning. But some names actually have meanings. In our Kenyan context, we have many tribes, and most of our tribes call their children according to seasons, according to the time of the night or day, according to the experiences they've gone through, according to the names that their grandparents maybe were named. And sometimes you find you've been called after your grandmother, your grandpa, some great-grand uncle, and you have no control over the name you were given. But like Jabez, you can cry out to God and tell him to detach you from the negative connotations of your name. Some people have been bold enough to actually change their names legally and have a total name change. At one point, when I was born, I was called Joy by my elder sister, and everyone knows me as Joy. The villagers, my parents, my family, friends, and the greater extended family. But one day when I was in primary school, my dad went to pay my fees and he decided to write Joyce. And I'm stuck with Joyce. Of course, I prefer Joy, but I'm stuck. My documents have Joyce. In fact, I feel strange when somebody calls me Joyce. But that's the name I am stuck with. I was not bold enough to change back to Joy, but I tried to live up to my name Joy, and I thank God for that name. And so I'm just saying names have importance. In the Word of God, in the Bible, we find people who either changed their own names or God changed their names for whatever purpose. Abraham, his first name was Abram, and God changed it to Abraham. Sarah was called initially Sarai, and it changed to Sarah. Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and Naomi changed her own name from Pleasant to bitter. She had gone through a bitter experience. She had gone to a foreign land and she lost her husband and her two sons. Actually, the men in her life had died and she felt bitter. She felt that God had dealt bitterly with her and she changed her name to Bitter, Mara. Have you gone through experiences that have left you wounded, bitter, unforgiving, dejected, that have caused even your self-esteem to go down? Names are very, very important. And the psychologists tell us that the first 6 months of a child are very important. And this is when we are actually named. Within that time is when we get our names. That is the time we are trying to have attachment with either a parent or whoever is taking care of us. And so that is the period when we are named. And our childhood experiences, the things we go through are very, very important, including naming. And so for the upcoming parents, I would say be very careful the names that you give to your children. I see the younger parents, the younger generation are coming up with names that they're not necessarily calling according to the culture. They have beautiful names that have meanings. For example, Swahili names like Baraka meaning blessing, Imani meaning faith, Upendo meaning love, and on. They get names, Swahili names, and call their children. I salute you for doing that. So, like Jabez, can we interrogate the meaning, the connotation, the weight of our names? And if need be, cry out to God and ask Him to change the course of our names. We may not call ourselves names, but people label us. In the Bible, people were called according to their experiences. The woman with the issue of blood, the adulterer woman, the woman of Samaria, the harlot, the prostitute, the blind man, the deaf man, the paralytic. Has the world given you labels according to the experiences you've gone through? I want to assure you that God has precious thoughts toward you. He does not label you. Instead, He tries to change the course of your life to align with His purposes for you. So do not succumb to the negative meaning of your name and live up to it. Cry out to God as Jabez did, that He may change the tide